Hello everyone, my name is Ruth Valadez. I am an eXp realtor here in Florida. And if you're thinking about buying or you are a first home buyer, this is a video you're not going to want to miss. So the first thing I want you to do before we get started is subscribe on the channel so that way you can get more information about your home buying process, or if you're thinking about selling, even better, subscribe. And if you think that you like anything in this video, if you have any questions, definitely put a comment or ask me right away, and so that way I can make more videos and able to answer those questions. So you are thinking about buying. So the first thing you want to do is go on Zillow and look at houses. Yeah, that's not how it works. Or you probably can get away with it looking at one or two houses, but every realtor is going to ask you for a pre-approval letter. So what is a pre-approval letter and why do I need that? So you are getting a pre-approval, or they're asking for a pre-approval letter because if you're thinking about financing the home, you're going to have to go speak with the bank to get pre-approved. And the bank or the mortgage broker, whichever way you go, will ask you for certain information about your financials. So if you don't know any specific mortgage lenders, or if you have any questions and you're thinking about buying in Florida, just message me directly and I'll give you some people that I would recommend. But anyways, the mortgage brokers that you're going to be contacted to get pre-approved, they're going to ask for some of your financials. I'm just going to give you a few examples. Your last 2 years of employment, your liabilities, meaning like the debt that you have, credit cards, car payments, and also they will have more questions in regards to your credit card, your credit, and your W-2 income tax. So I mean that's just a few. They might ask for more depending on exactly your history of financing. And why do we need a pre-approval? The pre-approval letter is so that way we know exactly what's the range that you can afford. So you get a pre-approval, it's going to tell you exactly how much you'll be able to go, and how, obviously you can go as less as you want, but how far high you can go. And it also, your lender or mortgage broker will tell you exactly how much you want to pay a month. So if you only want to pay $1,500 to $1,800 a month, then you're going to only be approved a certain amount because that's what you want, or that's what you can qualify for. So it helps you with it would help us know exactly what you can afford. That's number one. Number two, it will help us not waste any of our time. So we don't want you to go look at houses, fall in love with it, and then realize that you really can't get approved because you talk to the lender after the fact. So it's always good to have it before so that we don't waste your time and don't want to waste your time and emotions on a house that you may love, ourselves, myself, and the seller, So it's so that you know exactly how much you can afford and that we don't waste time with, we don't want to waste your time. And then also by having the pre-approval in hand, you will have something to show that you're ready to buy, which means that the sellers are more excited to look at your offer because you have your pre-approval letter. So when you place an offer, a pre-approval letter goes right behind it. We already know that you're serious about buying. So those are one of the three main reasons that it's good to have the pre-approval. So first thing, get your pre-approval letter. And now you are approved for, let's say, $250K. So who do you contact? Your agent. I'm just joking. But you contact an agent that you can trust. And they'll be able to show you exactly what's in the market and what is around that price range. I mean, you can always see it from Zillow, Redfin, all those fun platforms, but the agents will have access to the MLS, multi-listing service. And in that listing service, it will tell you a lot of the houses that is in your price range. They'll be able to send that over to you, or you'll be able to look at their website and they'll be able to give you exactly around that area what's the price range. So contact an agent that will be able to help you on your home search. Number one. Number two, have an agent that is very good at communicating. So someone that is good in communicating with you, meaning if you like a house, you're going to contact your agent like, hey, Ruth, I'm interested in this home. And, someone who's been willing to answer your phone or try to get to you right away versus someone that does get to you like a few days after. It's important because during the time of a contract, there are certain things that you need to get done at a certain time period. And you don't want to have an agent that is hard to communicate. So that's so have an agent that will give you a good market, give not good market, will give you houses that's in the market that you're looking at, that is really good at communicating, and is have an agent that is good, that sends you houses that's in the market, that keeps you updated. Also, one that will be good at communicating, that is very responsive to your calls and messages. Then another one is when the moment you put in a contract, will give you information and will be very informative during the process of buying a home. So now you already got pre-approved. You found an agent that you can trust. And now you looked at homes that you like. So when you looked at homes and you like, you're going to place an offer on one that you really love, has everything that you're looking for. So one of the things you can ask your agent is, can you tell me the comparables around the home, around the neighborhood, or around the area? So what does that mean, comparables? Comparable means that you'll be able to compare the houses that have sold in the area that are similar to yours. So if there's other houses in the last 6 months that have sold for close to the price range, then you kind of have a better educated offer, a better offer that you can present to the seller. All right, so you're gonna put an offer in. You had your comparables, and it looks like it meets around that range, and you put an offer and they accept. Next step is that you're going to put in escrow. And escrow is, you're literally going to put in deposit, earnest money, escrow. All these are the terms that they use it. And what it does is it tells you that you're serious about buying the home. And you can, at this point, when you're on the contract, you cannot just get out of the contract out of a whim. Meaning like you now, after 2 weeks in, you have your earnest money there. And you're like, you know what? I don't want to buy this home no more. I like the other one that just came out. Well, if you do that, you lose your deposit. So if you want to get out of the house, if you want to get out of this contract, and you like the other one, then you're going to lose that $1,000 up to, whatever amount that you have put in for the earnest money. So you have within 3 days, usually, depending on what the contract says, to put in the escrow. And then after that, you have your inspection period. And then from there, your agent should be able to negotiate how long of an inspection period you have, which the inspection pretty much tells you inspect the home with a licensed inspector, and they tell you pretty much what's wrong with the home. And if it looks good, then you don't have to request for any repairs. But if there are certain things that you want repaired, then your agent can kind of guide you exactly what kind of repairs you should make. But at the end of the day, it's your choice. If you want certain things to be fixed, you ask the agent to fill out an addendum, and you have that sent over to the listing agent, and you have those things requested. After the inspection period is over and the listing agent has agreed, or has, you guys have already resolved that, would be usually the appraisal. And the appraisal is the person that comes over the home, checks the condition of the home, and also see if it meets the requirements of your loan. For instance, if it's an FHA loan, first home buyer loan, they tend to be a little bit strict on certain things because they want to make sure it's safe for you when you move in. So if they see that the stairs are not working properly, like you put your foot on it and you're about to fall and get hurt, the appraiser is going to come in and put that, more likely will have flagged that and say this needs to be fixed before we go forward. So the appraiser is going to check the condition of the home, see if it meets the requirements of your loan. And then it also tells you exactly what his opinion is on the value of the home. And what he does is checks the last 6 months of the houses that has sold that has the same similarities as yours. So the appraiser come in and it appraises. If it appraises, great. And if it have went through appraisal in terms of the condition, then you're good to go. You're up to the next step. Next step from first is escrow, on the contracts, both parties signs, escrow, you put in your deposit, your earnest money. The next step was inspection. You did the inspection and you requested the repairs, or you were happy with the home. The next one was the appraisal, and the appraisal went through. You might have to pay for a survey so that the title company can endorse the loan. It's a requirement that some of the title company would need to endorse it to the loan to the lender. And it's an expense that's going to be out of pocket for you. So if the seller already has a survey, you can have your agent ask for it. That might prevent you from, not prevent you, but it might avoid you from paying the survey. It might get affidavit, it'd be transferred over, and you don't have to pay for the survey, which that would be great. That's like $500 to $700 or even more that you don't have to put out of pocket. So survey, appraisal, survey. And lastly, throughout this whole time, you should be getting approved from your lender. Your lender is going to be asking for extra documents. Although the realtor, she's doing, the realtor like myself will be doing everything in terms of the home, like the inspection period, appraisals, we're getting, talking, negotiating with the listing agent. But for the financing, you're going to have your lender. He's going to be asking documents from you. He's going to be needing that form that you from that house that you bought a few years ago, or this other form, this credit that you have done. He'll ask you from different things. I'm not sure specifically because I'm not a lender, I'm a realtor. So when the lender, he's going to be your best friend. He's going to be asking for documents, making sure you got the final approval from the loan for you to go forward with this house. And usually if he's a really good lender or she's a really good lender, they'll have a really good, pretty much already kind of really good feeling that you're going to be approved because of all the information you gave them up front. So it's good not to hide anything from the lender. Just give them the information that they need, and don't be secretive, because when they pull your credit, there's things that's going to show up that you didn't tell them, and it's going to affect you the process of the loan. So throughout the whole process of you being under contract, you get finally approved. To finally approve, it goes to the closing table, and you guys both sign your parts. You're going to be paying the closing cost, your part of the closing cost, if you didn't negotiate that, or if you negotiated that, and the deposit, the down payment for the loan. So if you have FHA, possibly 3.5 or even more for conventional. So this is the process of buying a home. You're going to have to get pre-approved to make sure you see what you qualify for. Then you could look at houses. Make sure you get an agent that's going to represent you really well. Myself, joking again, but get an agent that represents you really well. And then during the process of a contract, you have to be best friends with your lender to make sure you give him anything that he needs. And you're going to be very on top of the things for the contract. And then once you go through the contract, you do the final signings, and you'll get your home. Throughout the whole process of buying a home, we always recommend don't start thinking about quitting your job. Don't think about buying a house. Don't get your credit pulled from someplace else, because all of that could influence on the moment you're on the contract. So at the last day of closing, and you're like, you know what? I want to go to Home Depot or Lowe's, and I want to buy $2,000 worth of stuff to fix my home. If it's the day of or the day before closing, then it's a high chance that it's gonna affect you from buying the home. So why don't just wait until after closing to do that expense, and then you'll be able to once you won a couple of days after closing, make the expense that you need to purchase whatever you need to fix on the home, if you do need to fix anything, not during the contract, because that will influence you. So guys, I hope this video was really helpful. I know that when I bought my home, this would have helped me a lot. But now that I'm a realtor, I love educating and informing all the first home buyers or anybody that's planning on buying about what goes on buying a home. So again, my name is Ruth Valadez. I'm a realtor here in Florida with EXP. If you have any questions about buying a home, selling, or any questions about real estate, you can always ask me, comment. And if you really like this video and it helped you a lot, like it, so that way I know that I've been helping you and providing value to you. So I'll see you again on my next video. Have a good one.